Good morning. Vacation day 17. I am back at the Appalachian Trail. This time I am up at the parking area for Bake Oven Knob and I'm heading south on the trail toward Route 309. It's cold, you guys. It is 36 degrees. Let me show you the trail. So far, it is purely delightful at the moment. And when I looked at the elevation profile on Guthook, it seems like a pretty mellow ridgeline walk. So yeah, we'll see how far I go. If I can keep a steady 2-mile-per-hour pace, I can usually do 5 miles in 2 hours. And I don't know, we'll see. Today, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the last opportunity I have to get on the Appalachian Trail while I'm in Pennsylvania. And I just have to say that being in town with my family, it's pretty nearly impossible to get out on the trail the way I would like to do, because I am just too busy spending time with my family. I'm not here living. And, you know, this is the problem with section hiking, is just finding the time to actually go. It's really challenging because my family is more important. I think in this regard, choosing to through hike the trail probably, I don't know, I don't want to say it makes more sense. It doesn't make more sense, but I could see how choosing to through hike, you'd be completely focused on the trail. Hiking the trail as a section hiker and a day hiker is definitely more challenging because it takes a lot more planning and a lot more devotion. And you have to ask yourself, is it worth the time? Is it worth the devotion? I think it is, but I don't know how many other people would think it is. Oh, let me make sure I didn't go the wrong way. The first overnight I ever did on the AT in Pennsylvania was in July of 2017, and I went with my niece Whitney, who you haven't seen, from Bake Oven Knob to 248, and we hiked 9 miles to the shelter and spent the night in the shelter. And then my niece Lexi, who was in my video from vacation day 13, she came up to the shelter and met us. And now, it was almost 2 years ago. So Whitney was like 19 and Lexi was like 18, and I think they shared a hammock, and my younger niece was miserable. I never ever thought she'd become a hiker, and she hikes all the time now. And my older niece still hikes all the time. And those two, that year, they traveled up and down the East Coast to the Smoky Mountain National Park, to Shenandoah National Park. Whitney climbed Mount Washington that year. I mean, they just went on this massive hiking road trip. It was so much fun to watch. And maybe I was the person that influenced that, which is kind of cool because we don't see each other all that often because I travel around. But yeah, the trail going in the opposite direction of right now, going to Bake Oven Knob and going towards 248, that bit of the trail gets really, really, really hard. It's not a lot of climbing, but the rocks are really gigantic between Bake Oven Knob and 248. And so if you're section hiking or through hiking up this way, when you get to the Blue Blaze Trail between Bake Oven Knob and 248, don't take that trail. It is not a shortcut. Only take that trail if you want it to be even more challenging and more crazy. That's all I'm saying. Found bare rocks, which is that rock ledge up there. That's a pretty big boulder scramble to get to the top, and maybe I'll hit it on the way back, but I'm not gonna hit it right now. I'm actually kind of fond of the Pennsylvania rocks because they're huge and you can walk on top of them. So that's cool. I'm coming up onto the knife's edge right now. My mistake. That was not knife edge. It was just a beautiful lookout. I have yet to come to knife edge. It's coming up here in about a quarter of a mile. It is a beautiful day for a hike, you guys. Also, these bigger rocks in Pennsylvania are definitely more wobbly than you would think they would be because of their size. Yeah, this is definitely like walking on the edge of a knife. Good times. I'm going that way. Right, knife edge was pretty sketchy and scary, and if you have any kind of fear of heights, it's gonna be a challenge for you for sure. It was pretty unnerving. I'm also convinced that the first lookout that I could have climbed up to, Bare Rocks, is a similar type of rock formation. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna climb up there on the way back either. So I think I've decided that I'm going to walk for 2.5 hours instead of by mileage. If I can get to 309 in that period of time, then great. And if not, wherever 2.5 hours, whatever I reach, 309 or 2.5 hours, that will be how I turn back. How and why. And look, the trail got really nice and cruisy again. So I might make it. Stay tuned, you guys. There are quite a few nice tent spots between Knife Edge, and 309 for your camping pleasure. However, there is no water to be seen in this 5-mile stretch. FYI. Right, headed back the way I came. It only took me 2 hours and 20 minutes to get to 309. There's only about 2 miles of that section that was really hard. And that's where Knife Edge was, and bare rocks, and all right. I will see you up the trail. If I don't see anything good, I'll see you back at the car, which will be in approximately 3 seconds video time. Well, as hard as I wanted to bushwhack around the Knife Edge, I ended up just retracing my steps, and it was equally as harrowing, but I made it through to the other side. I'm 1 mile from the car, and it's been a wonderful hike. Hope you enjoyed the views. The next hike I do from the trail will probably be in New Hampshire. Thanks for coming along, and I'll see you guys again next time.